Here's the wing that we had under back. Within about an hour with the electric blanket on it, we had the temperature up to about 43 degrees, so we actually only needed to run the vacuum for about 3 hours.
3 hours.
Sliced the bag open, and this is what is coming out. So now,
Paper towels, breather, and release film.
and so we just pull, the whole lot just comes off.
That leaves the peel ply still in there.
Let me have a look down this way. So all that just all goes into the bin, that stuff. The peel ply, I'm just wondering if you can see it, it's stuck down quite hard onto it.
And it's called red line peel ply.
It's called red
It's got
line,
red lines.
so we can actually, so you can actually see it. See how shiny it is there at the moment, and that's with the resin that's been sucked through. So if you didn't actually put the peel ply onto it, that would be the sort of surface that you'd end up getting, which would be hard to glue to. Once it's peeled off, you'll see the difference, how you get a really a matte surface. So you just have to find an edge, which can be a little bit tricky. Without, the idea is not to pull up the any of the layer. We don't want it coming out of the mould at all. Otherwise, when we go to join it, the joining glue gets in between and just makes a bit of a mess. Gets under between the mould and the layer. And again, when we're pulling the peel ply up, got to be really careful not to pull the lay up, not to loosen it out of the mould.
Why it's called peel ply.
Yeah, you can see the texture. The difference now between there are a couple of bits here, so you can see where it's been ripped off, and you can get this really matte texture compared to the shiny. Just stop for a sec there. You can see the difference between that, the shiny, and then the matte texture, and that's.
I have to explain why it's black, why it looks mouldy.
Oh, okay. It does look like it's gone mouldy, and with the black there. When we do our first layer of the epoxy down, we put a little bit of thickening powder, a 403, just a little bit, and into that we also put some black pigment, just to back the paint, just to keep everything even, so that when we've got light colours and dark colours, we don't get any sort of shadow line. We don't want to see where the cork stops and starts, so the black just sort of unifies the whole layup on it. The reason we put the little bit of thickening into the first bit of epoxy is like so that when
Stops it pilling.
yeah, the pilling. You know when you just put water onto glass and you get that, you know, like just the water blobs. That's what happens if we just put the resin straight down onto the shiny mould, onto the paint. Whereas if we just put a little bit of, actually I'll show you the stuff, it's called 413 powder, and it's the same stuff. Let's get it out of here. This is what we use to, as a glue, to join the pieces as well. I think that's backwards in that video. It actually says 413. It's a West System 413 powder. So we just put a little bit of that in when we do our the first bit down, and it's just thick enough that it stops it just pilling. Now that the peel ply and all the consumables are out, the moulds have to be trimmed. So along all this excess resin, a cloth that was just laid over the top of the mould, it's got to get a really nice clean edge before we join it. Just in with a knife and just slide it along the edge of the mould.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, nice and clean, and ready for joining.
That'll be tomorrow's video, no later today. It's not left-handed.
There you go. But that's the idea. When they come out, they're a bit messy when they come out, and it all has to be trimmed up. We also made a wing joining tube sleeve last night. So this is the aluminium tube that we use, and you can see the sleeve. When we do the internals, you'll see where this goes and what it's for. And it was pretty noisy last night when we were doing this, so I just made a quick video, and I'll add that in, just showing how easy it is to make your own sleeves out of just a fiberglass sleeve.
Useful videos he's ever done.
Hi there, here we are again. Yesterday we laid up the wing for the Mustang.
One wing anyway,
Yeah,
the right wing.
Yeah, one wing. That isn't it, that's probably the easy bit. Today we're cutting internals into a wing. Before we join it, there's quite a bit of internal structure. I'm going to show you the drawing on the computer because this is where it starts. The green bits of this drawing are the metal parts, and that is the undercarriage mount. These bits up here, those are the plywood bits, and that gets cut on the CNC router. The middle bits are cut on a CNC mill. So these drawings, that's how they start their life. They then come over to this computer where we create a tool path and a program called SheetCam. We'll show you that when we do the plywood parts, because we don't want to stall this, it's in the middle of a cut at the moment. This machine also runs the
one computer, and the one Mark III, runs both the mill and the router, but only one at a time. So currently we're running the mill.
So then we're
cutting the aluminium parts.
Over to the mill. So this is basically was an X3 mill, and
Cheap Chinese manual mill that's had CNC stepper motors and drives added to it, so it's now a CNC mill. All very agricultural, but all works amazingly well.
and the coolant.
So we made a coolant tray, so it's a flood coolant.
So the coolant tray was just it's plywood that was cut on the router, and we just fiberglassed it to seal it, and then put this the perspex around, because once we start that, you'll see there's quite a bit of splash comes off it, and then it just goes down the drain hole.
Back into the coolant.
Just back into the coolant. Just have a bucket basically down the bottom. So we're about to start this cut. We were in the middle of a cut, and we thought we'd better film it, so we stopped it. We're about to start it. So what are you
It's
saying?
got a 2.5 kilowatt spindle, Chinese spindle, instead of the normal X3 head on it, which is just too heavy, too slow. So this is high speed and water cooled. The variable frequency drive runs it, so we start the spindle up. I'll try turning the coolant on and see how much splash we get. And then we hit the go button. That's not too much splash.
No, it's not. So we could put the door up and then just leave it. Normally there's quite a bit of splash. This one isn't too bad, but we've got this door.
And it's doing the running.
And basically we just leave that now, and the computer.
Drives it all.
This is what's driving it. So we just leave that running. The cut's finished. Not much to say. When it goes into the wing, we'll show you. There it is, nice and neat. Try doing that with a hacksaw.
These bits, yeah, a bit weird, but we'll see where that ends up.
Yep.
There are little tabs which hold it so that it doesn't go everywhere. So you can just break those little tabs out. So in the tool path it leaves these little tabs, just like there. We had one there and one here. You can see that one a bit better.
Yep.
So that just holds it down there so it doesn't all go pop. You can see one down in there.
And just a bit of a clean up.
Yeah, need a bit of a clean up now, but yeah, that's how easy it is to make those bits. X3 mil.
Too easy.